Hey guys, so I want to name this video and rant a little bit and call this LA Sucks Recycling. And that was actually a hashtag on Instagram and different things. And I'm not on Instagram that much. I should start putting some of these short videos on Instagram, but I just don't have the time. And social media is just a hobby of mine. It's really a place for me to save my content more than I'm not really, well, you guys know. So anyway, why I want to say LA sucks recycling, first of all, is kind of play on that hashtag that was going around and speak a little bit about that. I think the guy's intention that created that was to point out all the areas in LA that there was recycling, or right above LA. This is Altadena. It's actually a city of Los Angeles, but it's not. It's in the county of Los Angeles, not the city. And it's north, a little bit northeast of the city center of Los Angeles. And it's really popular. We have a lot of trails around here. We have a lot of roads around here that people frequent, and it is what it is. And it's lots of people come here, and lots of people hike, and lots of people just like this. So go ahead please. You're welcome. You're welcome. And so they know about it like that, and you know, it's share the trails, I guess. Well, it is share the trails. You have to share the trails, and that's just a little side trail that is right before this pavement. And that's what I mean. LA sucks recycling. So it used to be years ago, and I won't blame social media as much as I will blame the original people trying to profit off their trail knowledge and profit off their ability to try to make a living out of promoting trail usage. And there's nothing wrong with trail usage. I think that there's a lot of stewardship involved, and a lot of people do it for the right reason. But I think the original intent was just to publish a book and get a book that's popular and sold in bike shops, and sold, and I think it was eventually sold online and on Amazon, and profit off of it. So that's one reason. Second reason, and then, was social media. Social media came around and started publicizing the trails. Now, if you live in a remote area, it doesn't affect you as much, and that's because it's just a numbers thing. But if you live near a city of 8 or 10 million people that is frequently visited by people from other cities and other countries, it does affect you. And I'm not trying to sound snobbish or like, you know, stay off my wave, dude, it's my local trails. No, go for it, come here. But with that becomes the suckiness. And many of you have mentioned on my videos, and if you notice, I don't have my bell on today, but have mentioned that they can't stand that irritating noise of the bell. And I don't like it either. I prefer not riding with a bell, and probably the first 10 years I rode, I never thought about a bell. But time went on, and it almost became a thing where the people that did trail work and the people that were trying to advocate for keeping our trails from being closed and trying to cooperate with the hiker groups almost mandated that we have a bell when we ride the trails. And when you approach people, if you don't have a bell, I've been bitched out and say, why don't you have a bell? And even though you saw what I clearly did right there to those family walking their grandkid or whatever, I didn't, you know, scare them off the trail. I didn't try to go around them. I just stop and let them go around me, and I usually do that. But it's not that it makes my ride suck so bad. I'm still out here riding on a weekday, thank God. I'm getting some weekdays in now, and I'm able to enjoy being out on the trails. But I do like it to have that flow, that feel like I'm not impeded with flowing down the trail at the pace that I like to flow down the trail. And that's where I get into why LA sucks for cycling. And I'm beside myself thinking that we brought it on ourselves initially by people trying to sell books, then people trying to sell their social media and their apps and all that other stuff, to now it's at critical mass, and every day there's new people finding these trails and thinking, I'll come back to that trail. I don't read the reviews, especially not the reviews in the hiking magazines or the hiking blogs and hiking websites, but I'm not sure if they either warn people and say that heavily used by mountain bikers, or do they choose other trails that are nearby and say this one is actually off limits to mountain bikers, you can filter it that way or something. I would hope that that would be a thing, and people would start searching, where can I hike where mountain bikes aren't allowed? And there's lots of those places. There's not too far from here, there's places that are exclusively for hikers, and perhaps some bikers go on there, but if you try to ride your bike up like the Santa Anita Trail or some of these, like Rubio Canyon and some of those trails over there, they're just extremely steep and you wouldn't really get anything out of them. But just smashing yourself. And what was that trail? It's over there in Arcadia. There's a trail that's in Arcadia that it must be 18-20% grade. And my friend that trail runs and hikes, my neighbor actually, says he's seen bikers on there before and he couldn't believe it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't trail run, I don't really hike, and I just like to bike my trails and like to have that serenity, knowing I can keep my flow, enjoy my riding without thinking I'm going to be confronted with somebody sketching out in front of me, screaming at me why didn't I have a bell or to slow down, when most of the time I'm not going that fast. If you guys have ridden El Prieto, it's, I think even the guy that's the KOM does it at an average of like 11 miles an hour or something like that. You can't go that fast on it. Too many switchbacks. So, but that speed, if you're coming up to somebody, yes, it's going to spook them, and yes, you could injure them, but will you actually hit them going full speed like that? You're probably going to try to avoid them and probably going to put on the brakes or go over the side maybe. Anyway, enough of that. Getting ready to start my climb, and I will make another video shortly. But that's my rant why LA sucks for cycling.